When you're doing daily drops on YouTube about sneakers like I do every single day, 7 days a week, even on the weekends, you've got to plan ahead. And there's a file that I keep called upcoming releases. And it's when I find a shoe that's coming maybe a month, 2 months down the line, and I just log it, park it there because it's way too far in the future for me to do a video about, and then when it gets close to the drop date, drag it out of that vault and then bring it to you guys. And this guy right here, these lemon drops have been sitting in that upcoming file for an age, and finally I'm seeing an April 23rd drop date, which is kind of out there. A lot of people are still saying summer, not spring on these guys, but I'm seeing April 23rd drop dates coming around the line on these guys, and if it is that soon, we'd better get this video made and get this shoe out there and let you guys know all about it. And that's what we'll be doing today, and there's a bunch more on top of that. I'm going to tie it up to these, the Jordan 3 Ama Maniers, in a slight way. I'm also going to look at these guys right here, a video I did recently, which was the Dunk High Hawaii, an absolutely beautiful shoe, and then of course all the details on this guy. And I talked about those Dunk High Hawaiis, and I thought maybe those and these lemon drops would go face to face and you know, stare off at each other. Exactly the hype, exactly the same amount of push behind them, people looking for them. But I think I got that wrong. I don't think these guys are going to match the Hawaiis, and we'll get into that today as we take a close-up look at the upcoming release of the Nike Dunk Low Lemon Drop. This is the Tokyo Bara 23 Sneaker Channel. Tokyo Bara 23 Sneaker Channel is Mainichi Upsuru no de Mainichi Mite Kudasai. And every single day from Tokyo, Japan, I bring you content about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news, and sneaker reviews. And today it's an upcoming release on, I think, April the 23rd of the Nike Dunk Low Lemon Drops. And it's a beautiful shoe, an absolutely crazy shoe. I'm going to love talking about it because it is stellar. But first, let's talk about those Ama Manias. And the reason I'm talking about that is because that was a women's shoe, and today's sneaker's a women's shoe too. But I said in the Ama Mani video that I was kind of bummed because it's a beautiful shoe and I love my Air Jordan 3s. But you know, I've got big feet and that's a women's size run. But then a guy told me in the comments down below, you know what, it might be a women's shoe, but it's going up to a pretty high size run, so you could get your hands on your own size. And I was like, ooh, I'm pretty stoked about that. And I don't have any information about these guys. I'll be super disappointed if they restrict the size run to something I can't manage. I wear a 12.5 US, 30.5 centimeters here in Japan, and I would love to be able to get my hands on these shoes. I think they're absolutely beautiful. And going back to those Hawaiis and me saying that I don't think these guys are going to match the Hawaiis, I think it's going to go further. I think these lemon drops are going to exceed the Hawaiis, which is saying something, because the Hawaiis are absolutely out of this world wicked, and a secret hidden upper that you peel away the top upper to reveal. Unbelievable. It's a crazy shoe, and it's a high, which is, you know, makes it slightly rarer than the lows. But these guys, sorry Hawaii fans, but I think these guys are taking the biscuit, taking the season crown, because they're absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. And I'm going to talk you through all of that right now as we have a close-up look at the shoe. So first things first, we'll have a look at the whole thing, and it's just the balance. Nailed on, beautiful balance. You've got the basic two-tone feel to a Dunk with the white base and then the extra colors on top. In the case, I'm going with like a beige. They might be called tan, it might be called something else. You could go with off-white, but I disagree if people did. I'm going to call it beige because the beige leather is offset in other places by the lemon yellow that's on the shoe as well, which gives it that extra pop. And the outsole too is a third color in there as well. So it's an incredible, beautiful shoe. So let's start up high and we'll work our way down. I did a video recently, I can't remember which one it was, where I went 360 degrees from the tongue and looking in from above and all the way down the front, round the bottom and back to the heel on it. And I thought it was kind of a good way to do it. So we'll do that right now and get into these guys. So starting up high, looking down on the tongue and the insoles. Already I've got a question for you. I'm looking at the tongues and you can see the simple branding at the top there in those lemon yellow colors with the Nike and the swoosh. But what I'm interested in is the construction of the tongue. I've never noticed this before, and I don't know if it's just because I'm not paying attention or if I'm just an idiot or it's completely unique to this shoe, but that lattice effect is kind of a white lattice effect on top of a sort of that beige background, which I think is kind of unique to this shoe. I might be totally wrong in that, but it's really, really nice. Great place to start off with, a place you'd think, well, there's not much going on up there in the tongues. incorrect, because what's going on up there is absolutely fire. And right beside it, looking down into the shoe, into the insoles, you've got exactly the same optics with that white or even off-white. It's not quite white insole, but the lemon yellow Nike swoosh branding on the inside of these guys. So already we're off the charts cool. And then we head down from that onto the laces, and you'd normally just sort of like, nice laces, let's move on. No, because these guys do an exceptional job, like top level, first class, highest A+ honors that you can get of matching the laces to the color of the shoe. Sometimes it doesn't quite jive, or they try, the red that they use in the laces doesn't match the red that they've used in the upper, for example. But these guys absolutely nailed on that the laces beautifully match the rest of the colorway of the shoe, and I'm 100% behind that. And then right in the middle of the laces, you've got that lace stay in white, the little square that holds the laces in place and stops the tongue from sliding from side to side in white. It might not be white, it might be like off-white again, but basically that light square. I really dig that. They could have done it in beige, they could have done it in lemon yellow, they could have matched it to the brown on the outsole, but no, they went with the same sort of beige, not beige, the same sort of off-white colour as the other parts of like the panels that we'll get to in a second, which are just stunning. In the middle of that lacing system, I'm an absolute yes on that. I think it's beautiful. And then down from that, I've got this great picture here. Hopefully I can show you it with you've got three things to look at. You've got the panel on the toe, you've got the toe box that wraps around the toe, and then you've got the midfoot all in the one shot, and it gives you a perfect view of how the midfoot panel and the toe panel, which are both in that sail, very light sail colorway, are in tumbled leather, and you can see in both places that tumbled leather effect. Very difficult to get a shot like this that shows clearly the leather construction in those two places. And then splitting that is the quarter line, which is done in the smooth beige leathers. Absolutely stunning. Perfect choices for the colors, perfect choices for the materials, and we haven't missed a beat, we haven't put a foot wrong so far, and we're about, I don't know, a third of the way through our rotation through the whole shoe. And we'll get to one of the unique bits on these guys. It's not a standard kind of dunk low, it's got a really unique element to it, which is the outsole. So we're onto that now in our sort of tour 360 degrees through the shoe. It's a brown semi-translucent outsole. I read somewhere light gum sole. No, this is a brown semi-translucent outsole, and it's absolutely fire. It looks great head on as we're looking at it right like this, but it also looks great from the side, which we might as well look at right now, because we're going to get up into those swooshes in a minute, and it's like, oh my goodness when we get to the swooshes. But look at it in the side, you can see where the outsole meets the midsole, the width, or the quantity of outsole is getting less and less and less as it tapers off, which makes it more and more translucent. You get a really neat effect looking through the very last edge of the outsole as it meets the midsole, and you get that translucent effect in there. So the outsole is an absolutely stunning addition to the shoe. And then up onto those swooshes, this is what takes these guys apart and elevates them above those Hawaiis, which I absolutely adore already. And this swoosh is absolutely class. I've read it suede, and I'm going with lemon squash zest. It's just, you can see it, you can see the detailing on it, you can see the little different size circles that represent this sort of condensation or leather or whatever you want to call it on there. It's just stunning. It's just sort of quiet enough and gentle enough to not be in your face, but then when you get close up to it, you can appreciate the detail on it and the extra kind of dimension that it brings to the shoe. So it's got the two things I love, the extra dimensions and the extra sort of push that other shoes wouldn't have, but without it being overriding the shoe and dominating everything you see. And I think it's an absolutely stunning piece of swoosh on the side of these guys. And as we've been traveling back, you're watching that line that runs from the toe box up the quarter line across the laces and then down into the ankle. And like I said, that's in that beige smooth leather that runs all the way to the back of the shoe, and then the swooshes meet in their citrus yellow vibe in the back branding, and they've gone with an absolutely unique style of branding on the back of these guys with the lemon yellow Nike in the branding panel, but it's debossed instead of being embroidered or any other way that they could potentially do it like a sticker. I said this in a video recently. I couldn't remember the word that I was looking for sticker, and I've forgotten it again. But there's lots of ways you can put the branding on the back, but debossing it into the branding panel is a great way to do it, and a great way to finish off a shoe that doesn't put a foot wrong. Not a single stitch on this shoe can be any different. It's perfect. It's the perfect Nike Dunk Low, and it's going to absolutely destroy the sneaker scene. This is the shoe to go for, and you're never going to get your hands on them. They're beautiful, stunning shoe. Hopefully you've appreciated that look at it. Hopefully I was able to draw the lines around the shoe and give you all the views and maybe even some perspectives on it that you hadn't either thought about or seen before. But bottom line, it's a stunner. It's going to be massive, and there's absolutely no chance we're going to get our hands on them, but we can still look and we can still dream. And with that in mind, let's dream about making this channel huge and pushing it on and getting up to 1,000 consecutive days. We're in the middle 800 somewhere of consecutive days on YouTube without a single day missed, pushing on for that 1,000 mark. So let's keep doing that, and we'll do that tomorrow. And that means if we're doing it tomorrow, we're doing it every single day. And because we do this every single day, you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.